Okay, let me save you about 5 hours of your life, or maybe 4 hours. I don't know. So far, the trial has been like about 4 or 5 hours, however long it's been. A long time. And it's painful. Okay, so we had first officer of today's trial. We had another officer yesterday. It was the lady officer. This next officer that had to testify was the partner of the lady officer. Those two officers arrived at the scene first on May 21st, 2016, at the penthouse where Johnny and A live. Okay? This was the 911 call that was made due to A being on the phone with a friend and screaming that there was something wrong and screaming that Johnny was hurting her. Threw a phone at her face and pulled her hair. And yeah. So I don't know if you know that story, but basically she claimed that he threw a phone at her face, and in her like deposition or whatever in like the UK trial, she was saying like he pulled my hair and like her description of that was like, okay, I can tell you're probably not telling the truth, because she was like stumbling to figure out like what happened next. Just not, oh, it was just bad. Okay. She's not exactly the best actress. So, anyways, to speed this up, that officer was testifying today. The male, he was in a suit. I don't remember everybody's names because I'm not really paying attention to names. I'm just like listening to what they're saying. He testified that there was no marks, no bruises on Amber's face that day, or is on May 21st when they showed up at the penthouse. The lady officer, the male officer, both said that they did not see any marks on A, and they did not see any damage to the penthouse. Okay, then next, let's fast forward, because that was a painful interview because of A's lawyer. I think her name is Elaine. Ugh, she just drives me insane because she asks the same questions over and over and over and over again and just drags the whole thing out, and you can tell the like absolute like the witnesses' brains are just gonna like explode if they have to repeat themselves anymore. Okay, so that officer got done, and then another officer came on the stand today or whatever, but it was like a video deposition, which was even worse because the audio sucks, and it's not live, it's like a replayed video from 2021. And he was there for the second 911 call. Okay, and I don't know where the fourth officer is, if they've interviewed him yet. I don't think so. So far it's the third officer, and he says saw no bruises, saw no cuts, scrapes, whatever. He doesn't really remember because he was like 10 feet away, and there was 3 girls sitting on the couch, and a male came to the door of the penthouse to answer the door of those second 2 police officers that came from a second 911 call. Okay, and this officer, they showed video camera and everything of where he went. He went into the penthouse, didn't see any damage, didn't see damage to a person, but they didn't spend very much time there, so they're trying to say, well, you just don't remember, and you don't know if she was wearing makeup, and you don't know what really happened. And they put verbal dispute only, because the first officer said that it was just a verbal dispute, nothing to see here, they went on their merry way. And so that's what the second officers did. They said, well, I want to come in, because the guy didn't really want to let him in at first. He was like, well, there's already officers here, and everything's fine. But because the officers didn't know who was doing what, they went in to make sure everything was cool. So they go in, 3 chicks sitting on the couch. Seems like everything's fine. They ask, is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? Everyone says, yeah, and the husband left like 2 hours ago, so we don't know why they got called again. Basically saying, there's nothing here, so like, why are you here? And so the officers are like, all right, well, call us back if you need something, whatever. I think they did just fine. If no one's going to say there's a crime, what are they going to do? Just stand there and stare at them until somebody says, like, what's going on? So yeah, to skip to that, so far, 3 police officers. Nobody saw anything on A, and nobody could even fill out anything because there was nothing there. Okay? My hair is like super staticky. Next is the hilarious guy that works at the penthouse building. Okay, he's like one of the front desk guys. And he had seen Amber on May 24th. So this incident, May 21st, he saw Amber on that Tuesday, May 24th. He saw no cuts, saw no bruises, saw no marks. Okay, this is super important. And everything's going to get lost because there's so many dates being thrown out. And I don't know what the jury is allowed to look back on. I don't know if all they get is what's happening in the moment in real time. Like, they're just their conversations, just the snippets that the lawyers show them. I don't know what, if they get to review anything, if they get to look at paperwork later, or try to like mentally put a timeline of events to say who's telling what and what's the truth. Like, if anybody knows, please comment down below and tell me, like, what is the jury allowed to do when you're a jury person? Like, are they allowed to look at anything? Obviously, they can't do any outside research. They have to focus on what's being told in the actual trial. So, yeah, are they allowed to look back at anything? Are they allowed to refresh their memories of, like, wait, what happened on this date? Because there's so many different events that they're trying to keep track of. And can they take notes? Because I feel like I would need to. I don't even remember anybody's names. Like, how are they gonna remember who's doing what? Like, I've been listening to it, but I don't remember everybody's names without, I would have to write them down. So yeah, somebody tell me if they know. So basically, I think his name is like Ramirez or something. But he worked at the penthouse building, and he saw Amber on May 24th, which is a couple days after this event that she claims Johnny had abused her. So he saw nothing. He even went through their whole apartment on the 24th because they saw scratches on the door, and they asked him to check out the place for them because it was A and her sister and Rocky Pennington. They went to that Ramirez guy and was like, hey, walk us through the penthouse and make sure everything's fine because we see scratches on the door. I think someone's trying to break in. And he was like, bruh, they were like 4 inches above the door. That's your puppy. Like, you're fine. But he did it anyways because that's his job. And he was kind of laughing at it. And he did not see any marks on her, saw nothing to note, and he was like, dude, I think I would have remembered if there was bruises or swelling or anything. He said, when I talk to people, I look them in the eye. I don't look for anything on purpose, but if I saw something like that, I would have been like, oh, wow, I would have remembered, is that what he was saying. And so the important part of May 21st is the accusation. May 21st, 4 different police officers saw A and the group, never saw any abuse, any marks, never saw any damage to the apartment. Then, May 24th, another witness saying, I didn't see anything on her. Then, May 26th or 7th, I think, is when the photo came out and the news broke that she had a huge mark on her face, and she went to court and filed for the restraining order. I am pretty sure that's the next event that they'll be talking about. But if it is in that week, then that's why this is so important. Because then if those events never occurred and the pictures of her bruises didn't happen within Johnny's presence, then it either A, happened by somebody else and she's just pretending that it's him, or B, they're fake. So I will have to double check on the timeline, and this is why it's like so confusing, but this is like a major event that she has claimed the abuse. So if that is indeed the week of her saying, you know, like, hey, he hurt me, and then she's got the picture of the bruise and it's in the media, that's totally defamation if that didn't happen with him. So yeah, that's the lowdown for today. No one's ever seen anything of May 2016. They have not seen any actual marks. At least the police officers, which there's 3 so far that have said that out loud. They didn't see anything. And then the witness downstairs, which is the guy that works at the penthouse. Okay. Bye-bye.